Matt and Luke
No.
would like to talk about the third series of The Americans. So
Yes,
I'm going to
yes,
give
we
them
would.
some space to do
Which
that right now.
finished
Oh.
on
You get your
ITV
coat out the cleaners.
Private.
Encore.
It's called Private Browsing. Yeah.
Private browser works on Firefox and Google
Or
Chrome.
Incognito on Google Chrome.
Oh, is it incognito?
Yeah.
Okay.
Clearly you two have
he,
this-
he didn't even stop then, did he? He was like, oh, it's good. We're learning a lot tonight.
Yeah, so
There wasn't even a
ITV
moment of
Encore were
hesitation.
airing The Americans, and the last episode aired
Okay.
last Wednesday of season 3. The Americans was a show that, I mean, I've really enjoyed since it started. You came to it late and basically watched all 3 seasons together.
In hindsight, excuse me, that was the best way to do it because as much as I enjoyed the third series, you said when you started it, you found it hard to get back into because
Once I
you'd
got
had that
to like
gap.
Ep 5, Ep 6, though, it was sort of
Oh yeah, you're back
steam
in the
ahead.
swing of it
Yeah,
by then. But
well, should we? The Americans basically, we've talked about it before, but it involves Kerry Russell and Matthew Rhys playing Philip and Elizabeth Jennings, who masquerade as the normal sort of American couple with 2 kids, but are actually Russian spies, sleeper spies. The big sort of storyline throughout was the fact that they were having to recruit their own daughter, who didn't know that they were spies. Who, during the course of it, she found out that she realised that there was something up, and they told her about what they were. And the sort of cliffhanger finale was that she told someone else about this. What do you like then about the Americans? The pacing?
for a start, it's really well paced. I think both Kerry Russell and Matthew Rhys are just incredible in both. Well, I was going to say in both their roles, but they each have like 4
they're
roles in
playing
this.
different people with various wigs.
They are well, yeah. The wigs are a turn off for a lot of people, but it doesn't bother me. I think it's really well done. I think also it feels. I don't know why it does, but it feels classy to me.
Classy.
It feels like it feels classy, and it feels like it does feel much in the same way I thought about Breaking Bad at the end. It does feel like the people who are running it and the writers know exactly what they're doing, and they haven't put a foot wrong yet in the 3 series as far as I'm concerned. My favourite was what Gary would call a bottle episode, pretty much, where Philip and Elizabeth went into... I forget what they actually went to do.
Get
but she ended up talking to...
a bit of machinery or something, was it?
But she ended up talking to an elderly woman who was doing the books, and it was just so engrossing. And what was so good about this series was that their secret unravelled, but there was no real drama to it. It was done matter of fact, to the point, and it was believable all the way through.
And also, this is the one series that there is so many things up in the air, in terms of Martha, the secretary at the FBI, who he's married to. Philip is in one of his alter egos. Philip is also having an affair, or trying to stop having an affair with like a 15-year-old girl, who's the daughter of some higher up, isn't she? Yeah. And also, I like the use of music. I think the Americans is one of the shows that knows how to use music perfectly, and I just
absolutely adore it. My question is for you, Matt.
Yes.
Because we talk about American shows and how long they go on for. How long can this go on before we start to think that they've done it all and they've,
I don't know.
Shows that you love, like The Good Wife, go on too long.
I don't know, but this one has got a very specific story, so I don't know how long they string. It just depends where they take it next, I suppose.
I suppose the slight weak link, and it is a very tenuous thing to say, perhaps Noah Emmerich as FBI agent Stan isn't as engrossing when it's just his stories on screen.
It sort of petered out a bit now because he was having an affair with that Nina, wasn't he? And she's gone off to Russia now, so it's sort of him moping around, realising that he's still in love with his ex-wife, maybe trying to get Nina back.
When you put the Americans on paper, it sounds absurd. These people living double lives. They're going out and doing these crazy things. And in the first series, I was like, well, who's looking after these kids? You know, they're out in the middle of the night doing all these things, and the kids haven't even batted an eyelid. But now, I just don't even question it. It just seems so believable in the world of the show, at least, that I don't even question it. And I'd be interested to know from Gary, if
Hello.
he's still there and not in the airing cupboard.
I'm just listening.
Why did you stop The Americans?
I
What was
think
it about
I think this
it?
was during the time when it was difficult for me to record shows and keep up with them. I didn't have a DVR, but I definitely enjoyed the pace of the first series. I think one criticism, like you, was I started to guess the believability a little bit. You know, there was they did some tasks or missions which you just think, gosh, they never would get away with that. I know it's the 1980s, but surely they would get caught. But I didn't stop watching because I didn't like it. I think I just stopped watching. Also, I remember ITV didn't kept messing around with the timescales. They put it on Saturday night or something.
It was on Saturday night after Jonathan Ross.
And they kept moving it, particularly when there were long episodes of The X Factor or whatever reality show was showing at the time. I just seem to remember it not being on consistently, which never helps a TV series, in my opinion.